So I believe this is a video. Oh, good. So what I did was we measured out using the black ladle. Move the olive oil, please. The black ladle. We measured that out 3 times into the frying pan to see the amount of volume. Then we pour the frying pan into a measuring cup there on the counter. Oh, look at that. Look at all the pills they got on that counter shelf. And that's how much oil it is. So we added that much oil to the frying pan. And we're going to heat up the oil. And then we're going to add salt pork to it. And get it crispy. I'm going to pause this. I'm adding our salt pork. And we're going to get these nice golden before we add our garlic, which is in the refrigerator. I've chopped that up already. And once the salt pork is golden, we're going to add our garlic, our carrots, and our celery. But first the garlic has to be a little golden. And then we're going to remove the salt pork, and afterwards we're going to add it to our white beans and kidney beans, red kidney beans. Pause. As you can see, our salt pork now is starting to get a little crunchy on one side. It's there in the olive oil. In a little bit, we'll look at it and we'll turn it over. Yeah, you can see the way the salt pork is kind of like, it bubbles up like that. As the whole oil is getting underneath there. Cooking it nicely. Now you can see that we're really getting a nice color to them. I'll let the other side cook. I'm going to spin, I'll flip them back again. I'll lower the heat, and then I'm going to put them in this little paper plate to rest until afterwards. I won't cook the salt pork in the pot itself. It's looking beautiful. We turn the heat down to a number 5 heat. I like the color of the salt pork down. It seems that it's going to have flavor to the oil, plus once we add it to the existing tomatoes and beans, it'll continue to lend its flavor. Go ahead. Now I'm going to add all my chopped up garlic. These are about I would say 6 nice cloves of garlic that I've added here. And now I'm going to smooth them out. Hold on. The garlic cooking nicely, very quickly. The oil is hot, so I'm making sure I'm not going to burn the garlic. But in a moment, I'm going to add a sofrito of celery and carrots. Celery. It's another video. Nope, wait. I'm going to let some of the water come out of the celery first before I add my small pieces of carrots I've chopped up. It's about, I believe, 2 or 3 carrots. Over here, I'm going to be adding a can of dice. Over here, I'm going to be adding some tomato sauce afterwards, once my carrots and celery, which I haven't added the carrots yet, but I will. Now here I could show that the carrots are steaming in there nicely, and I'm going to bring over and add our carrots, because that'll cook down with it. We were supposed to separate the shredded from the whole, but
we were?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right. Let's just I'll hold this here. Wait a moment. I'll pause for a moment. Now here, you can see the carrots, the celery has been kind of softened up, and I added the carrots. They're a little tougher. And once these combine, I'm going to add a little bit of small container, like something a little child's measurement of mandarin oranges come in, full of beef broth. Now it's come together nicely, but Mike forgot to take oil out of the garlic before adding the carrots and celery, which may improve the flavor overall. We'll see. Probably it will. Here's our frozen beef broth that came out of the mandarin orange container, and I'm going to let the those melt in there. I'm going to cover up the pan for about 10 minutes, let them dissolve. Well, I was just informed by Cindy that I'm going to take this sauce with the dice cut and put them in the blender, blend up my dice cut, and we'll add it to the existing frying pan mixture. This is just a quick look to see how things are coming along, but I will be putting the cover back on. So this in the container here is the dice cut tomatoes blended and an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce itself. And this I'll be pouring on top of the carrots and celery that has the oil and garlic in it. In the big pot, I'm going to add the garlic and the salt pork, along with the red kidney beans, the white kidney beans, and the plum tomatoes. And our own white northern beans, I'm going to put in the big pan of plum tomatoes and blend that our very soft beans that are homemade to the plum tomatoes, giving a white creamy texture, which is delicious for the soup. Okay. Here everything is simmering nicely. The carrots and the celery. The celery is very soft. The carrots took a little bit longer, but it's in there with the beef broth, and I have another, I say, minute or so that I want them to sit like this, soften up, and then I'll be adding my can of dice cut tomatoes and a tomato sauce. Then I'll add about 1/8 of a teaspoon or so of red pepper flakes. Okay, now I'm ready for my tomato sauce. Go ahead, add that right in. It's on a I believe a number 5 heat. We're just going to add a little water to that, rinse out the delicious tomato flavor, and bring it back here. We'll just gently stir this in nicely. And seeing some of this oil on top, more than likely I'm going to be able to capture some of this oil, at least a ladle full of oil, and that'll be for my pasta. Very nice. Alright, let's put the lid on here and just let nature do its thing. Here I've taken the white kidney beans from the can, there's such a nice amount, and we rinsed them because we don't want that juice or the sodium, high content from those beans. Our whole intention was using our home beans, but we're adding extra for our own flavor. Here we're adding our red kidney beans. Those add such a delicious flavor to it. I never knew how good they would be until my friend Bob says he uses red kidney beans, and I decided to use them too. And after making patlıcanlı for years, and I thought it was so good, the red kidney beans just improved on the flavor and the texture overall. As you can see, we're rinsing them pretty good with cold water. Once the kidney beans and white beans are where we want, we're going to be adding them to this big pot here, along with the ground can of whole tomatoes, the plum tomatoes, and our own homegrown white kidney beans, adding the salt pork and about 4 or 5 whole cloves of garlic, which you will see. These are our Tuturoso plum tomatoes in the blender, which we're going to blend. And then once we blend them, we will add our jar of our own northern green beans for the color, the flavor, and the texture. It adds a creaminess to it, to the overall fajole. As you can see here, the can of beans that have been rinsed, it's a nice generous amount. How many ounces is that?
2 16-ounce cans.
A 15-ounce can of red kidney beans. My mistake. That's red kidney beans that are lying on top of the can of white kidney beans. So you have 15 ounces of red kidney beans and 15 ounces of the white kidney beans. Enjoy. I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes here with our tomatoes, celery, carrot, garlic, and salt pork that was added to this flavoring. We'll stir it in a little bit. This is going to make the carrots simmer in here, be nice and tender. Afterwards, this will be added to the larger pot, which will contain the red kidney beans, white kidney beans, tomatoes. I know, it's a lot of beans and tomatoes, huh? Okay, here we have our big pot that we got the heat on, and we're going to be adding our whole plum tomatoes that have been ground, along with the white kidney beans of our own. And you can see the beautiful texture that's going to be coming there. Now remember, that's going to simmer with the salt pork in it and some whole cloves of garlic. Here's our white red kidney beans coming. Oh boy, the white kidney beans. We'll just give that a nice stir, adding in our salt pork in a moment. Alrighty. Your whole salt pork, very nice. Take your time.
Garlic?
You see the garlic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's a nice flavor to it. Plus they get soft. Really not much of a flavor. They'll soften up in there, and it's nice to find one in your bowl. It's nice to spread on top of the Italian bread. No, there's no action in the hair yet, because the heat's on a medium heat and everything's just going to come together. But we will show you. But over here, this is really looking nice. In a moment, I'm going to take that wooden spoon and taste it. This tastes beautiful. The carrots are about 3/4 of the way cooked through. Nice little snap to it, but not much. But you know you're biting into carrot. And that, in a moment, we're going to be adding to the big pot. Now we're taking some of this here from this pan, frying pan, everything, because we want to add it in here. We would add the whole thing, but it's rather heavy between the frying pan and everything we've added together. And when it's lighter, everything will end up in our bigger pan. Thank you. Push the pause button. We've added a frying pan from there into the big pot. And you can see when it's nice and the sauce is cooked, it actually sticks. It's nice and a nice color to the side of the frying pan. Place that back on the stove. Now we'll get a little slice of bread and we'll clean out that frying pan. Gentle stirring with the wooden spoon. Nothing rushing over here. Nice gentle soup. It's going to be a hearty soup, but we do stir gently.
Only add a little water.
Okay, we're going to be adding a little water to this because our beans sure made it thick. And we're going to be cooking it, and that's necessary depending on the thickness you would like it, or we like it, because it's going to be so flavorful. We may add more water. Because it's so delicious, I am going to take a slice of Italian bread and wipe along the edge, catching all that beautiful tomato sauce that's stuck to the side with the flavors of the olive oil, and no better taste than a frying pan filled with tomatoes and olive oil. Here we have our Italian bread with a little of the sauce and beans on top. It's only been cooking for a short amount of time, but it's delicious. Well, oops, wrong way. I don't know how to reverse the camera, but you can hear me. I think this particular fajole is outdone what I made before. We enhance on it. And now we have everything here. It's going to come to a simmer. And now we'll let it stay like that until we feel it's ready. Probably add a little more water. Nothing like big jars of leftover sauce. And I'm not here now, but you're welcome to come in and have a dish about fajole.